TGIF, and welcome to the long Labor Day weekend. From the KUOW newsroom, this is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning. We've got today's top stories for you as you hit the road for the weekend or, like me, hunker down in town. It's Friday, August 29th. Lawyers are demanding the release of a longtime Oregon resident who was arrested by Border Patrol while fighting a Washington state wildfire. Today, his attorneys said the firefighter was already on track for legal status after helping federal investigators solve a crime against his family. They say they've not been able to locate him in the system and are demanding his release. His lawyers argue his arrest was illegal because Department of Homeland Security policies say authorities can't do immigration enforcement in places where disaster and emergency response is happening. Border Patrol officials say the two firefighters arrested at the Bear Gulch fire were in the country unlawfully. The agency says it was called to the site by the Bureau of Land Management to verify employment of private contractors. David Diaz is a crew boss on one of the teams and saw the arrests happen.
We know the process now of what they expect and what we expect now on both ends to make things right so we could keep moving forward.
The contracts with two of the companies were suspended and 42 workers sent home, accounting for a loss of 10% of the workforce on the fire. Governor Bob Ferguson says his team's contacting federal agencies to get information about why on-the-job firefighters were apprehended. Speaking of fires, lightning strikes caused at least 3 small wildfires yesterday in the North Cascades National Park. So now, over this holiday weekend, some camping areas and trails are closed. Those include the Little Beaver Trail from Ross Lake to Stillwell Camp and the nearby boat areas and campgrounds. News on the science of fire today. Scientists from Washington State University have created a new climate model that predicts areas with high deserts like eastern Washington and Oregon will get more lightning. Dmitry Kalashnikov is one of the lead authors and also says Idaho and western Montana will get more days of lightning during the warm season.
When I say warm season, it's June to September, that 4-month window when our risk of fire is highest. So just in that 4-month window, up to 4 to 12 more days with lightning in the coming decades.
Kalashnikov says the new model could help policymakers prepare for wildfires as the climate warms and wildfires increase in size and severity. The study was published in the September issue of the Earth's Future journal. We have news to share about our station today. KUOW staff learned this week that its board of directors, which guides and oversees the station's finances, is considering adding a former state senator to the board whom KUOW has reported on extensively. Our politics reporter Scott Greenstone has the story.
Then Republican State Senator Joe Fain lost re-election in 2018 after a woman came forward accusing him of rape. KUOW published an extensive investigation at the time. Fain said this week that a member of KUOW's board approached him about joining. He told The Stranger he wants to preserve public radio in our region as it comes under attack by a, quote, hostile administration in Washington, D.C. He pointed out the board has no oversight of the newsroom, but KUOW CEO Tina Pamantuan said staff and listeners have reached out with concerns. Pamantuan was hired by the board and started this month. She said the organization stands by its reporting. The board will vote on new members next month. Scott Greenstone, KUOW News.
We'll keep you posted if any more comes of this. Moving on to our environment beat, biologists are warning that common rat poisons are killing bald eagles in Snohomish County. Wildlife managers with the Stillaguamish tribe say the culprit seems to be so-called anticoagulant poisons that eagles ingest from eating dead rats. The Everett Herald reports the tribe and state officials have sent 5 dead eagles to a lab at WSU in the last year that died of poisoning. Biologists say eagles are crucial for a healthy ecosystem and for the tribe's ceremonies. On the water, it is really dry on the Spokane River. Levels on the Spokane River are at a historic low. Caitlin Scott of Spokane Riverkeeper told the Spokesman Review there are spots where a person can cross the river without even getting their feet wet, let alone fish having enough water to pass in. A combination of factors are likely to blame, including restrictions on flow through an upstream dam and evaporation from hot weather. A Washington veteran will remain locked up at the Northwest Ice Processing Center in Tacoma for now. Gustavo Segrero has an update on a bond hearing for Muhammad Zahid Chaudhry.
It was supposed to be an expedited bond hearing, but Judge Teresa Scala said they need more time to decide whether her court has the jurisdiction to even consider the bond. A government attorney argued the court does not have authority to release him. Chaudhry first arrived in the U.S. on a visitor visa and then later got a green card through marriage. He served in the Washington Army National Guard in the early 2000s for about 4 years. Since then, he's navigated a myriad of legal fights to get citizenship, including efforts to deport him. The government claims he failed to disclose a prior conviction on his paperwork, and while in the U.S., misrepresented his citizenship status when applying for a position at the Yakima Police Department. The question of jurisdiction is at the center of multiple lawsuits. The Trump administration recently shifted its policy to say detainees are not eligible to bond if they entered the U.S. without permission. It's unclear if that policy is at play here. Gustavo Segrero, KUOW News.
There's a nationwide Democrat versus Republican redistricting battle going on right now. And in Washington state, we have an update on our own redistricting conflict. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that revised legislative district maps in the Yakima Valley can stand. A lower court ordered them redrawn in 2023, saying the maps diluted the voting power of the Latino community. But no redraw will happen because a group of residents challenged the lower court order, saying it gave too much consideration to race. And the federal appeals court this week ruled the Yakima maps do not discriminate on the basis of race. Some weekend notes. The Postman will close this weekend. This Central District mailing and shipping store has had a hard journey. Kiana Rose Pickett and Devon Pickett Jr. opened the store in 2018. Then, in October of 2022, Devon was shot and killed as he was locking up the store. Kiana has continued to run it and even expand as part of Devon's legacy. But earlier this month, she announced it had become too much to run alone. She'll close shop August 31st. This month, Post Options on Capitol Hill also announced an upcoming closure. Before we go, here are some weekend highlights if you're still settling on plans. The Washington State Fair is officially open today, and for this first weekend, kids attend for free. Elephant ears and farm animals galore. It's also Bumbershoot weekend with a music and arts fest complete with a wig store and wrestling this year down at Seattle Center. Some people are heading east for Labor Dave, the annual Dave Matthews Band weekend at the Gorge Amphitheater. Saturday, Amanda Knox has a special showing of the TV show about her life screening on Vashon Island. And you can see the Seattle Storm twice this weekend at Climate Pledge Arena. Next week on Seattle Now, we'll dig into the scathing audit of a King County department.
One example was a payment that was supposed to be $1,000. The auditors found this original $1,000 invoice that had been altered, auditors say, by a contractor, adding $6,000 to the total.
Hear that Tuesday morning. That's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. Happy long weekend. See you soon.